Greetings, friends. This is Pat at Dancing Moon Travel, coming to you with another episode of Let's Talk Travel. And, you're always hearing me say how excited I am to welcome our special guest. But tonight, I'm really excited because I am going to introduce you to all of the team here at Dancing Moon Travel, who you may not be aware of at all unless you're accustomed to working with them. Because they have never been on Let's Talk Travel. And if you're regular listeners and I'm your agent, you don't know about everybody else that's out there who is under the umbrella of Dancing Moon Travel. All of them are independent contractors running their own business, but they're all associated with Dancing Moon Travel. So I'm going to bring them on here and get ready to meet our Dancing Moon Travel team. Jason Odell.
Hey, Pat.
Joanne Craig.
Hi.
Kathy Ludeman, our newest member.
Hello.
And Natalie McCaskill.
Welcome.
I mean, all of those faces, and they're just great, and I am so blessed to have them as part of the DMT team. And our first order of business here, I just want each of you to take maybe 2 minutes. Give us a little bit of bio about your background, how you got into the travel business, any area of travel you particularly like to book, anything you want to share, about 2 minutes worth. I'm going to just start how you appear on my screen, and that's Jason.
Oh, boy. Hey, Pat. Well, my name is Jason Odell. I am in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where it is sunny and cold, but I've been working with you since 2015, and my primary, I'm actually a photographer. I lead photography tours and workshops, teaching around the U.S., and I came to you when I expanded my business to move internationally. So that's where things are, and things have been building for a while, and so I've started to take on more responsibility, to start putting together packages for people who want to travel, whether it's international destination or a vacation, or a place that's great for photography, whether I'm joining them as their lead or just putting together a package for them. So that's kind of my specialty: landscape, nature, wildlife photography, but also travel photography. And so I enjoy putting those things together, and hopefully I can do that for more people in the future.
Cool. And Joanne.
Hi, I'm Joanne Craig. I got into the travel business in 2018 when I was speaking with Pat about going on a couple of cruises. I am a nurse. I retired nursing once upon a time. And when the travel agency kind of diminished, I ended up going back into travel, or into nursing, I'm sorry. But I still book for clients. I enjoy making them happy. If I couldn't make them happy back in 2018 as a nurse, then I could at least choreograph their dreams, as Pat says, and make memories one vacation at a time. So that's pretty much what I have done. Very excited to be able to do more. Looking forward to Croatia and lots of other avenues of travel.
And Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie McCaskill, and I'm a newer member of the team. Pat was actually our travel agent, and so I was very intrigued by it. I've always loved travel, and so I just joined last fall. My family is from France, so I like to specialize in Europe primarily because all my family met, came to America on the boat, so we're first generation. But also I am the community leader for Modern Widows Club in the state of Texas. So I really try to encourage some solo travelers to choreograph their dreams and make real vacations happen. So I'm excited to be part of the team.
We're excited to have you too, Natalie. And Kathy.
Hello there. I'm again new to Dancing on Moon, but not new to travel. I've been in the travel business since 2017. I'm originally from South Dakota, though I've been in Port Charlotte, Florida for about 25 years and absolutely loving Florida. I'm passionate about travel. I always have been. My first international trip was when I was 18. And I just was hooked on the culture contrast between South Dakota, in the European cultures. I just was hooked right away. I'm an avid cruiser, so I consider cruising my specialty. I'm also spending a lot of time in Europe recently, so I'm becoming more familiar with Europe also. So
Okay, well, thank you, Kathy. And I'm Pat, and I started Dancing Moon Travel back in 2008. Prior to that, I had been worked in law offices virtually all my adult life. And it was just a chance conversation that opened the door to the travel business. And the rest is history. I'm a master cruise counselor. That's my first love in the travel business. So I love to send people on cruising and introduce people to cruising. But I also I'm a generalist. I do pretty much any kind of leisure travel that anybody's interested in. And I'm also in Port Charlotte, Florida. A lot of my client base, however, is in Atlanta, where I started the business and have many friends and clients located. So that's great. It's great. I learned some things about each of you that I didn't know as well. So this is a good start. Now I've just got a list of general questions, and I think I'll start around here. Let's start with Kathy this time and work our way back. You should know the answer to this, but do you have a person? This is all your personal stuff, so no trick questions. Do you have a personal vacation that is particularly memorable, and any reason why that stands out?
yeah, definitely a river cruise. A couple years ago, as a solo traveler, I went on Amma Waterways down the Danube. Started off in Budapest and spent a few days in Budapest, and then headed down the Danube to end up in Nuremberg. And then after Nuremberg, spent a few days in Prague. It was just amazing. I love the flexibility on the ship, the different levels of activities of the excursions. They even have bikes on board for excursions on bikes. And I just, in the personal service and the food, I could go on and on. It was just an amazing vacation.
Yeah, that's a river cruise for sure. Just awe-inspiring. What about you, Natalie? I know you and John have hit the road a few times.
We have. If I were to pick my most memorable trip, though, it was a trip to Fiji that I took after my late husband died, because we loved to travel together, but I was traveling solo, and so I could really maximize my dollars. And by that time, I had started Modern Widows Club in Houston. And so I really went for my ladies. I had a good friend that invited me to a week in Fiji, but he wants to go to Fiji for a week. So I went for 2 weeks after you pay for that airfare. I got a really good deal, and I stayed in a timeshare condo. So it had a little kitchen, and I did a lot of research. So I arrived with a bag of groceries and some basics, but I really pushed myself, representing really my members, saying, what can you do alone and feel comfortable? So I went out to breakfast different mornings at different hotels along the water, and included a walk and then a breakfast, or I would go for lunch, or I would go for happy hour, and I signed up for activities. And I really tried to imagine what I could take back to my ladies and tell them about the experience. Of course, at the time, I had magical, mystical ideas that I would meet a charming gentleman at sunset, and he would offer me a coupe of champagne, and we would dance off into the future. I read a lot of novels and saw a lot of movies.
Yeah.
And I didn't meet John until much later through mutual friends in a French cooking class, and we still travel. But Fiji, for me, I actually bought a pearl there. And I always tell my widows, I went to Fiji for you so that I know that you can do it. You can travel alone and you can enjoy this glorious world again. So that would be my trip.
Excellent. What about you, Joanne?
I think the most memorable vacation that I had was the one that I took to Australia. I flew into Australia solo, went on a cruise to New Zealand, and it was just amazing to be able to see the beginning of in Auckland and then end down in the fjords at the base of the island. It's just amazing, the contrast. And then I stayed in Sydney for a week. and just was able to, I love the hop on, hop off buses because those are the best to be able to see anything. You know, they're inexpensive. You can get off, you can get on, you can stay on for many times if you want to, you know, and in Australia to get to the beach, you have to change buses. So, you know, and it was great because I just sat there and did whatever it was that I wanted to do and just observed and people watched. And it was amazing, you know, to be able to see that and to go to the sites and see the waterfalls and, you know, just things in Sydney that, you know, I just was able to do by myself and it was great. So that was probably the most memorable.
Way cool. And I love the hop on, hop off buses. Usually we will have one of those included in most of our European itineraries for our solo travelers, even for some of our groups, because it's transportation and sightseeing rolled into one. So it's and always a great value as well. What about you, Jason?
Well, you said vacation, so I had to like really dig through my brain because I didn't get a lot of vacations for the most part. I've traveled a lot with you guys with the stuff that you've put together, which has been amazing. But technically, I've been working on those. So I went back and dusted off my brain cells, and my grandparents for their 50th anniversary in 1995 took me and my family on a private charter catamaran of the Virgin Islands. And as vacations go, that was the best vacation I ever had. We stayed on the boat. We caught fish to eat right there. The snorkeling was amazing. We would only go to a shore when we needed to, you know, explore something or go to the local bar or whatever, enjoy the music. And that was a vacation. It was really, really great.
That is way cool. Way cool. And folks, just so you know, we do have the ability at Dancing Moon Travel to charter yachts for people. We're doing one of those in Croatia, but we can do that in the Caribbean as well. Some people like to charter. We can do it with or without the captain and staff on board. So if you're thinking that you would like to do that and follow Jason's lead on that, we could make that happen. I have a hard time when I try to narrow down my favorite vacations, but I'm going to talk about the one in Croatia that I did because it just knocked my socks off and I didn't expect it. That was the fun thing. I was traveling solo for the basically second time in my life, and it was a small yacht charter, and I fell in love with the country. It's so beautiful, and the scenery, the people, the food. If you're an adventure traveler, if you're a photographer, whatever your interest, it has it. But even for me, there were things because I have some issues with an ankle and my back that I couldn't participate in, but I fully enjoyed that trip in every single respect. So I have to put that, I think, right now at the top. I can't shut up about that destination since I went. So what's your favorite thing about being in the travel business? Joanne, I'll pick on you this time.
Oh, okay. And I forgot to mention in the beginning that I'm actually from Hendersonville, North Carolina. So anybody who is come visit if I'm home. I'd be more than happy to show you. My favorite thing about being in the travel business is being able to help others find that special moment that they want, whether it's a Disney for the kids or it's Alaska for the adults and older, you know, just being able to fulfill their dreams and make it happen for them.
Okay. What about you, Jason?
Well, for me, it's I'm still new to it, but it's learning about all the places to explore and discovering, because I'm usually looking for places to take photos along the way, right? So learning about the destinations, learning about where people can go, and just all the cool things that you can do. I mean, I don't really think too much about the kinds of things you can get put together until we started working together, and it's pretty incredible. So I like the learning aspect of it.
And you never get done with learning in this business, folks.
No.
We can't. You never know everything because it's always evolving, especially these days, of course. Kathy, what about you?
I love just designing and offering a product to people that it's pure happiness, and it creates many beautiful memories. I'm also a nurse, Joanne, just so you know.
Oh,
Yeah, and my job sometimes is a little tough, and travel business, it's just really all happiness, and people are presented with a product and are just very, very happy in the end with comes up with that product. So that's a part I really enjoy that so much.
Cool. What about you, Natalie?
Well, I just love it. I've always loved to travel, and I was a travel advisor very unofficially for family and friends for decades. So it's really been fun to start now as an advisor and to have access to all the incredible research and places that we can find out and support groups. And I really do like to help people choreograph their dreams. Several of my clients wanted to go and do things this past few months, and they've been able to go to the Grand Canyon or their first cruise, or I'm working on a spring break trip for a young widow with 2 teenagers that's going to Disney. So they're all different, but it's just super exciting and a lot of fun to see that dream come into a reality.
Yeah. I love my clients. I think that's probably my favorite because by the time, typically, but when we work with somebody, we have we work with them initially, and then they keep coming back. Our clients, I call them friends because they become friends and
Yeah.
clients too. They're just, we get to talking about our kids and that, they're, maybe they have aging parents or whatever, but we get to know each other and I understand their needs. And so I love that aspect. And, I love to bring value. We pay as travel advisors, we do save them time, money, and mistakes. Maybe not all 3 of those for every single vacation, but generally speaking, a couple of those per each time around. So I think that's something that we do bring value to our clients. What destinations on the top of your personal bucket list? Natalie, let's start with you this time.
Yes. I would still like to see, well, a couple of things. I read about a restaurant. I'm a foodie, and it's called Blanchard's, and it's in Angria. I've always wanted to go there. But then I would have to say Thailand and Bali, seeing some of those areas and just look absolutely magnificent.
Wow. Jason?
Well, I've still got Iceland on my list. I know it's pretty
Ah.
popular. And it's gotten busy there, but it's great. And some of those other areas, we've talked in the past, Pat and I, about the islands around Norway, but and then sort of the vacation bucket list thing would be one of those river cruises, because it would just be amazing. I mean, I've had that on my list for about almost 20 years, so it's like one of those things.
I know somebody in the business.
Yeah.
Joanne.
well, my top bucket list vacation was Australia. And then I added another one, and it is actually a river cruise in Germany at Christmas.
Oh.
Oh, the
I
Christmas
was born
markets.
in Germany. I have never been back. So this would be wonderful for me to be able to do the river cruise and maybe stay before and after and just try to find my family. They're over there and I've not seen. So, it would be fun.
Cool. And what about you, Kathy?
Well, I'm going to be going to Spain in September, a 2-week land tour all over Spain. So that was part of my bucket list. Probably next, I would say Hawaii, a cruise with a land tour on top of the cruise. So
I'm going there in May.
oh, nice.
Cool. We are on the move ourselves, folks, as you can hear. I think for me, 2 of the things, I can't say 1 or 2, But I have not sailed on a couple of cruise lines that I really, Regent Seven Seas, I had booked. I was supposed to sail in Alaska with them when the pandemic hit. So, of course, that went by the wayside. So that's at the top of my list. I would still like to do Regent, and I would love to do that in Alaska. That would be a dream. And Oceania. I really would love. I'm a foodie too, Natalie, and I remember fondly the ship inspection I did on the Riviera one time down in Miami, and the lunch they served us was memorable. And so I'm thinking, if they're feeding travel agents, a 7 or 10 night cruise. Oh my goodness, I need to lose 15 pounds before I turn it off. that would be the only thing. Let's see if we can give our listeners a little tip, maybe. Do you have a favorite travel accessory or gadget that you like to take that's just an essential? What would you tell clients about that? Who haven't I started with? Kathy, I don't know that I've started with you. Let's do you.
Oh, that was a hard one for me. I guess a portable alarm clock. I know we can use our phones, but sometimes your phone's ready to die. And a lot of the hotel rooms now do not have any kind of clock in the room. So I suppose a portable alarm clock.
Okay.
Also, I'm still kind of hooked on paper. So I like all my travel documents to be in a file and a folder and paper. But I have them on my phone, of course, but Wi-Fi is sketchy in some areas. And I just like having that paper backup. So.
Cool. What about you, Joanne?
I would recommend a luggage scale, because by the time you buy extra, you don't know if it's going to fit in your suitcase. And you
Okay, hands up. How many of you have had to rearrange at the check-in desk of the airline? I'll admit it.
That is a gadget you don't leave home without.
It happened to us too, folks. You're not alone out there.
It's, you're standing there with this luggage scale and you're lifting up the thing and you're trying to look and see how much it weighs. And it's like, it's 3 pounds too much. I need to pack it in the backpack, or move it over or something.
Put it on, something.
Yes, yeah, there you go. Put it on.
What about you, Jason?
This kind of will fit in with what Kathy was talking about, but the best things that I've gotten are both related, and it's having a multiple USB adapter. Like you just plug it into one thing and you've got 4 USB ports, because now I'm charging my phone, my iPad, sometimes even my camera can charge over USB. Everything charges over USB. And to go with it, and in that same vein, sometimes I will get a universal travel power strip. That some of those actually have USB plugs in them, so you can, because you go to a hotel and they got one outlet, and it's God knows where, right? And you plug into this thing, and yeah, so having a bunch of plugs that you can access works really, really nicely. So those things when you're really need to charge your device, and then also I have those little portable battery packs that you can use. So if you're in a jam and you really need to charge something, if you're traveling, and I just keep that in a little pouch that I've got. So all my stuff, and then I upgrade my charging cords to the 2-meter ones. So your iPhone cord is the one that comes, or your phone cord is usually a meter cord. It's not quite long enough to reach over to your nightstand. So get that 2-meter cord, and life is a lot better. And keep that for your traveling.
They're very inexpensive on Amazon. You can get 5 for $10.
Right. So those longer cords are really useful to go with that plug, because you never know where you're going to have to plug something into.
That's right. We have to be connected to all kinds of things these days when we travel. I guess mine is my travel purse that I bought. They're online everywhere, but they're secure. All of the countries in Europe are very safe, but a lot of the areas are notorious for having the best pickpockets. Italy, for example, they can make a purse disappear. They can make your money disappear out of your purse and your wallet. And just having that, they can't cut the strap on this one because there's a steel cord going through it. The compartments lock. They just have a little hook on them. So they're not going to be able to get into that handbag and get my wallet or my passport out without me being aware that they're doing it. So I think my travel handbag, about, around the $50 mark for the women. And they've got wallets and belts also for the gentlemen out there. So any piece of travel advice that you would like to offer to our listeners this evening? Natalie, haven't started with you for a while.
Well, and I was going to add my favorite accessory, but it is good travel advice.
Well, you haven't done what is your favorite accessory?
As a soft-sided duffel bag, like I have a very old patterned one, Vera Bradley, but you can even use those nylon athletic bags, the gym bags, and you put it on top of your suitcase, which solves the problem that Joanne was talking about. If you're overweight, you quickly put stuff in that and put it on your shoulder. But also, if you get too many treasures, as Kathy mentioned, then you can, you have something extra to put the treasures in, or throw the 7 sets of shoes you brought into that so you can travel home. What I'm trying to learn, and so it's my best advice, but I don't necessarily do what I say, is to carry less. One of my friends taught me to pack your bag and then the next morning go in and take out half.
Oh, geez.
Just we take too much, we don't need it. And then really consciously decide. I mean, Jason sounds like he should probably do a piece on how to pack. You don't need all that, and things are interchangeable. I try to go in a certain color scheme. And I really try to notice, what did I bring that I never touched? And then that doesn't ever come with me again.
Good advice there. Kathy, what about you?
Already did
Oh, you
my
did.
yeah,
You
I did already.
Yes, you did yours. Never mind.
Yep.
I'm trying to go the wrong way here. Joanne.
And what was the question again? Because there's a few of them going on out there.
What piece of travel advice?
Let's see. The travel advice that I would say is to use a travel agent, first of all.
Love that.
That would be the first and foremost, because because we can, as you say, Pat, save you time, money, and mistakes. We can choreograph your dreams one, memory and vacation at a time. We have the in to things that other people don't. So using a travel agent or advisor, whichever you like to be called, I think would be the best advice to anyone out there.
You don't have any better advice than that. Can't top that one. Jason, what about you?
Well, I could sit here and talk about packing light with certain kinds of clothing and all this other stuff. And
you make up for it with all the photography equipment.
That's what I'm saying. That's my problem. So my trade-off is like I'm putting camera lenses back in the closet because it's always, do I really need to? I'm afraid not to take that. One thing that I will just say is a real general thing, and I see this because my photography clients, you only live once. You're only here once. You need to get out there and explore things while you can. Nothing is a given in life, and if there's places you want to see, don't wait until maybe your health or something isn't satisfactory. Get out there and do those things while you can really enjoy them, because that has been the best part of my job for the last 10 years, that I've been able to do stuff that I enjoy and get paid to do it, usually, if I'm lucky. But I see a lot of my clients, I know a lot of people I used to work with even, who were just delaying retirement, putting things off. I'll do it, and then they're not able to get around so well. And so get out there and do it. Don't take anything for granted. Get out there and see the world. It's worthwhile.
And Jason, I am going to piggyback on that, because that is the best advice I can ever give anybody, is don't put off the trip. You should book today until tomorrow, because we're not guaranteed next year. If you have family, folks, take the family on a vacation, take those grandkids. Those are memory builders. You're not just taking them for a trip. You're building lifetime memories. You're building experiences. Die with memories, not regrets. And make just find a way to make those trips happen. We can make some suggestions for you. Most of our trips can be booked well ahead, and we're happy to arrange payments over time if budget is an issue. We want to enable people to take those lifetime dream vacations. You will never be sorry that you did. So the last thing I want to do now is for everybody to tell our listeners how to reach you. How do they get in touch with you? Kathy, let's start with you.
Well, they can reach me anytime on my phone, 941-763-9848, and of course on the Dancing Moon website.
Okay. And you have an email, Kathy@dancingmoontravel.com?
Yep. Thanks, Pat.
Okay. And Natalie?
I'm also Natalie. I live in Houston, Texas, which I don't think I mentioned. Natalie@dancingmoontravel.com is probably the easiest way to get me. And also my phone number, 713-515-3587. And I can answer you as soon as possible.
Joanne?
And you can reach me at joanne@dancingmoontravel.com. And my phone number is 828-406-4342.
Okay, Jason?
Jason@dancingmoontravel.com. And if you really want to call me, 719-440-4809. Our office will put you in touch with our talented advisors are standing by to take your call.
Yes, we have agents standing by to take your calls. So
I promise. Just don't call me after dinner.
You can call. I'm down here in Port Charlotte. Also, I have an Atlanta mobile number. I give my mobile number out. It's really the easiest way to reach me, 404-735-5774. And Pat at dancingmoontravel.com. That'll get you through. It's easy to remember. And we're all really anxious to hear from you. And so reach out if somebody struck a chord with you here, even if they're not in your same state with you. We've got most of the country covered here. And folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And I am going to have a giveaway. I just want you to enter TEAM, TEAM, in the comments box tonight. And I'm going to give away a mouse pad, Dancing Moon Travel mouse pad this evening. And I ought to have some of these made up for all my agents here, and so they can give them away as well. And we will have a drawing. So somebody's going to win a mouse pad. Shoot, I'm going to throw in a mug as well.
Ooh.
So we'll get you a mug and a mouse pad. And these, I've never seen a mouse pad of this quality. I just got these. I'm thrilled with them. I'm using one myself, even this evening. So, team, thank you so much for being on board tonight. I'm so excited to be able to introduce everybody to our audience. And bye, everybody. We'll see next month, March. We're going to be featuring cruise lines. Carnival is going to be our guest. We've never had Carnival on the show before. So stay tuned. If you're a cruiser, you'll want to stay tuned in for all of our episodes in March, because we're going to feature the big name cruise lines as our guests. Thanks, everybody, and see you next time for Let's Talk Travel. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.